Our next picture is going to be a seagull. I've not done one before, surprising really, because I live by the seaside and we see thousands of them every day. Anyway, I'm going to follow it as seen there. So we're going to put a background on as well on this one. And I'm going to start off, obviously, with the white. So let's... Now, what I've done here is weaken my graphite lines a little. Let me show you what I mean. I've still got these to do. I use my razor just to take off some of the heavy graphite, otherwise it will show through. Now, I won't show you all of this, I'll just show you how the starter, how I begin. Now this needs to be solid, so the best way to do it is to do it on its side rather than on the point. And you see there's quite a lot of dust occurring. Well, that's a good thing. Let's just come down here. I'll just do this little bit here. Using the side of the pencil doesn't crush the paper so much as if you were using it on the point. I'm using ombre pastel paper. There we are. Now, when you get to this stage where you can't see the pastel paper coming through, but there's lots of dust on it, that's what we want. Now we need to blend that. There's several things you can use. This is the easiest and the simplest, is a cotton bud. But you can use one of these, which is a paper blender. But I find this works quite well. I would normally use a colour shaper. I'll show you one of those. But now, you don't, if you're starting out, you don't really want to spend a lot of money. So this is a good way of doing it. Now that dust there, use my finger. As we get a little bit further around here, I can use my finger. But right, now that's what we need all over there. And I think what I'll do it all. Let's just do a tiny bit more for you, because you don't want to see me repeating the same thing over and over again. What is important, and I've just seen this actually, having never done one before, I'm unfamiliar with them. It's not until you draw them that you can see them as they are. Right, now that's got it. It just curls in behind there. That might be important. Now, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go all around, everywhere, around the eye, like that. And next time you see it, all of that will be in white. And then we'll use another colour, a couple of colours actually. We can be using the two greys that I've got here as well. And that will give me the tone, the shading that I need. Right, almost there now. Let's fine a little bit. Use your finger and just blend that in. There we are. Now that's that finished. Now the grey. Now this is 230 grey. And what we're doing here, we want to start the ball rolling here. Now this is not going to be that strong. We're going to use another colour for that. But this particular pencil is a very popular one, because it's not only does it do the job I want it to do, but it also can give you another layer of pastel. And I'm going to make this just a little shaded. Again, I'm going to do this little bit, and then I'm going to carry on, because again, there's quite a lot to do. This shading around here, for instance, here, I haven't drawn a line there because I don't want it to be too pronounced. Let's put a little bit more white there. You'll see what I mean when I bring the next colour in. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with that, putting the grey on. You'll see this when I finished it. This area here that I'm doing it, which is quite nice. And I said we can put it on in different places as well. Use your finger again for this. It's like giving another layer, which we could do with on this bird. And you see there's quite a lot down here. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with that, but let me show you the next pencil, 233. Now this is a lot darker. And what we're looking for here is this. This round circular action is a good one. And that can come in down here. We can put the white back in again. Now you see there's a hard line there. Well, I'll show you how we can actually get rid of that in a minute. And just a little stronger down here. Let me do this bit at the back. That's this section here. Just a little bit there, but not a lot. You can always bring your white back, like that, to bring the colour back again. I'll show you little bits of this as I go along. It's going to take me a little while to get this in. And when you've done that, don't use your finger now. You can use the cotton bud to blend it like that. See? You'll need a stronger coat than that. But do it in gradual stages. Don't try to do it all at once. Like that. Got it? Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing in a minute. And as I say, I'll show you little bits of that as we go along. I was going to show you this too. Now, the way you can do that is to use the other grey to blend it in with. See that? So you get a really attractive blend. Touch with your finger. There you go. I'm going to make it a little darker than that, but that's a good starting point. So watch me as I show you little sections of this as I move down to the bottom here. Now what I'm going to do is the eye. And to start off with, I'm going to put a little bit of this colour on. See that colour in there? And I'm going to put it directly on this section. The sand-coloured paper actually is helping here. It's giving us quite a nice looking tone. That's fine. And the centre, now the centre, I'm going to use white again for the section. And then I'm going to follow that with this one. And this is a very pale green, but putting on top of white will get us as close as we can to the colour we've got there. And there we are. That's not bad at all. But what I'm going to do is put the grey in on top of that. And that will get us, as I say, as close as we can get. Now, ideally, we want to put the pupil in. Well, here I'm going to use 175. Start small and then enlarge it. Blow the dust away, because that can be give you a false impression. I think I really need this a little tiny bit sharper, which I might actually do that before I finish. I think that is probably about right. You can make it bigger, but you can't make it smaller. Right. Now, while we're here, we've got to get this edge in. Now here I'm going to use the grey. There's 233 grey. And at the same time, we're going to develop that section here. There's another little area just above there, which is this bit. And there's another one here. I don't pretend to know quite what these are. It's obviously markings around the eye. But there's little white bits in between. Let's put that in there. There's one right there, and there. Good. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Inside the eye, just here, I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of grey, because there's some shadow. Can you see it just there? And there's some right on the corner. There. Put some more. It's a fiddly job, but as you can see, it works. There's a little bit there. Use the grey again. To blend it out. There we are. And this 175 can be used very carefully now with just a spot of depth. But don't put too much on. The fact that you've got the other colours on there will cushion his strength. There's a little more there. think of that? Oh, that's not bad. Need to probably come back in there again and anyway, you can fiddle, folks. Well, I sharpened my pencil up and I made a difference. This is the 175. Give me a little better. You see, the thing is, you don't want to put too many colours in here. We could have put the grey in first, but you'd never really get the same strength. But I think that's good. I'm pretty happy with that. I want to make that just a little darker there. And we can use the grey 230 here just to temper that a little, make it look a little less punchy. But I think I'm going to leave that alone now. That's not bad. What we can, now we've got that eye in, we can see these other areas, look, and we can put those in. It's not until you do that that you can actually see what you need to do. And you see this attractive feathers, obviously, coming in there. I quite like that. And now we can put some detail in using the 233. You really can only do this once you've got a base in. If you haven't got a base, it's much more difficult. But once you've got this base and you built that base up, which we have, and just touch with your finger. I think your finger probably is best for this if you can do it. The colour shapers, or rather the cotton bud, can also be used. Yeah. Yes, I'm quite happy with that. Now, what we're going to do is the beak. Now, with the beak, we start off by using the white. And what I would do, I think, once you start this, is to use the other colour directly on top, which is this one. This is 185. That way you'll get that separation. If you don't do that, you'll lose the line like that. Okay. Now let's carry on. You want to put the white on right down there, right, in fact, right down to the bottom, I think, even though we've got some grey in there too. And there's another area there. And again, I'd follow that with the yellow, otherwise you will get lost. Right, now let's carry on with it. This area here, now I would put that in, because if you don't put it in, you'll overrun it with the other colours. So I'm just going to put just that bit of dark in 175 I'm using. Now that means I can now bring the white down. Be careful, you don't want to drag that colour into the rest of it, but got away with it. I should do the top half of the beak, and then we'll do the bottom half. There we are now. Do we? Yes, I think we do. Let's just be very, very careful, but blend that in so we get a smoother look to it. Okay, now this colour. Now, if you look at that and look at this, it's not quite the right colour, is it? But got another one here. Look, that one, which should give us the colour we're looking for, together with the grey. Let's find out. Oh well. Gosh, that's close, isn't it, folks? Remember, we can pick up that dark if it strays. Now, there is some light on this edge. Before we put too much colour on, let's establish it. Now, there are some grey areas. This is the 230. Come down here with the grey. And there's also some of this other grey, 233. And we can put a few more feathers in now. And here, there's quite a lot of grey on here. So we put the lighter grey in. Don't want too much of this. It's not that dark. Wonderful how all these colours amalgamate together. And I think we use the cotton bud to just blend that. I might put a bit more of that on. Certainly we need some more orange here, you see that? That's quite punchy, so let's put a bit of orange on that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that, I have. Now, as far as that is concerned, we've got to do something about that now. Which means coming back in with your very sharp 175. You see what I mean? By doing it to start with, you don't lose it. There was a danger of me losing that. Now I think that looks pretty good. Quite happy with that. Let's put a few more feathers, shall we? I can actually see them on here. No, I didn't really spot them when I first looked at this, but the more you look at your picture, the more you see. And I think we'll put a few extra on as well. And we've got to get that bit in now. That bit, I'd started it with the grey, but I think we're going to have to put 175 in there. So let's show you how we do that. And then we've got the bottom of the beak, which is really interesting because we've got that little red bit. Yes, 175 in there now. As you use it on its own, it turns out like that. If you use it in conjunction with the other colours, it weakens this. Now you see the difference that makes. And I can come all the way down to there. And I think we can just put some shading in there too with the other grey. And the other grey, now 230, not only is it a great colour in its own right, but it's also a good blender. So you can actually use it to blend like that. Look how close it is to that. Just a tiny bit in there. I'm quite pleased with that. And now we've got to do the bottom half. The bottom is very similar, so it's just a little darker. I'm just wondering whether or not we can put the grey in first here. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. And I think we'll come on to that red as well, because once again, although I've got the red out, it's going to be quite strong. So let's just see. As I said, I haven't done this before, so I'm learning as you're learning. Now that's good. Now in there we want the yellow. And we want the red, my goodness me. I tell you what, we'll use the orange, I think, first. Now, this has got a light there. I don't want to do that. I'm going to make that a little stronger. There we are. Like that. And then I'm going to spread that orange into there, because this is where I want the red to go. Now, I'm taking my life in the hands. I haven't tried this yet. Normally I do a bit of experimenting, but let's go for it. It's as close as I can get, I think, to that. Be tentative, like me to start with, until you're sure that you've got it, and then you can put more on. But I wouldn't do that to start with, just to see whether or not we need grey in there, and I think we probably do. So this will be the 233. Yeah, that was a good decision. A little bit of depth there. And I think we'll follow that along there too. And let's put the grey in. What this will do, by doing what I'm doing now, it will subdue the strength of that red, because I'm going to go a lot stronger now. It's not bad, is it? Let's just see what happens if we use a... Yeah, that's all right. That's good. That's given me a good ground colour. Now I think we can be just a little bolder with it now. But you see these light areas there? Well, we can leave them. That's not bad. Now, remember the trick I told you with the grey? Well, you can do the same thing again. Use the grey as a blender. Blow the dust away. I don't honestly think you're going to get any better than that. It's pretty close, isn't it? And put just a little bit of white in there as well. And then I think I'll call it a day. I'm just tempted to just a spot of the 175 in there. That's fine. Right, happy with that. Okay, a couple of little things. We've got the grey in here. You see this? I'm just turning up this side. I've got to get to it. That bit there. Let's put that in. I think we can afford a spot of 175 in there as well, just to add a little bit of weight to it. Now, I don't want to push my luck, so I'm quite happy, I think, with it. I did a bit more orange. When you get to a point, you can be a little bolder with your colours. I'm quite happy with that now. Yes, okay. Well, I think we've done very well. I mean, probably I would go back in there again. Let's just do it, don't talk about it, and make that just a little stronger. That's great. Add a little grey to it. I mean, this is fiddling, but it's what I love to do, and I'm sure you will too. Now, just make that a little bit more. Let's use a believable there. There we are. I'm happy with that. Now that's almost it, but we've got a background to worry about now. So let me just show you. I'll do this bit here. I'm going to use 230 here. Now backgrounds are generally, I don't use them, or I don't suggest them for beginners, but I think this is something that I think you'll be able to cope with. If you don't want to do it, don't do this. Just do the bird and leave it. But I'm going to show you this anyway, because it really isn't that hard. I'm only using a couple of colours. Not going to be quite the same as that. Close, but not quite. This is 230. Remember I was saying to you, it's a good blender. Well, it is. And one of the areas that I use it for a lot is backgrounds, because it is such a good blender. just blend that in with your finger as close as you can get. You can always touch the picture up again. It's not a problem. There, that's good. Now, what we want is the green. Now, when I show you this, you'll see, gosh, that is easy. You've just got to be careful. You don't want, when you're going up against the big, do what I do here. Turn it round so that you can go right up close to that. And the other way. And because you've got that dust, blend it in. And you end up with that colour, which is not quite the same. But if we did, let's just carry on for a minute or two and show you. Because I'm going to do all of this, and I'll show you little sections of this as I go along. But it's quite important to do this bit first, so you get that established. And then in here, turn it round like I am, because this way you get the, without actually reaching across. In fact, I would do it like this as well, folks. Use the side of the pencil. Always use the side when you can, because you don't crush the paper, as well as speedy operation as well. Let's see what that looks like. Now you've got to be careful now with your finger. I would go as close as I can with my finger before using, where's me, the blender to get just that little bit closer. The trouble with this is it's going to take it off. No, we can't do that. So you'll have to put your finger in there. But don't worry too much about it, because I'll show you what you can do. This is the worst bit that I'm doing. What we can do, once that's in there, you've no need to touch it again. You come back in with your white, re-established, and perhaps orange would be best there. And red. A bit of artistic license, really. In fact, I think we can put that in, some of that in here. I'm going to, strictly speaking, it's not there on my picture, but it's how I think it looks good. There we are. Not bad at all. See, if I'm telling you, you can't use a colour shaper. You can actually. If you've got one of these, you can use it. See what I would do there. Let me show you. Don't go and buy one specially though. But they're very useful once you get into pastel pencils. See the difference? What happens is this tends to take it off. It blends it, but it does take it off. Whereas the colour shaper gives you that. Like that. Anyway, lovely. So I'm going to go all the way around. There's no need to see any more. I've showed you the colours. So I'll come back in a minute and we'll have a look at them and see if there's anything we need to. Looking at this, I can see, when I look at this way up, we've got some sort of markings in there, which makes a little difference if you put it in. Oh, there we are. Anyway, let me finish this off. Well, there we are, that's finished. Now, just final finishing touches. I think we'll bring the light back in on top of the beak here. Some of the dust from the background would have strayed onto this. Let's come right down to the bottom, like that. Turn the corner, and then there we are. Now that has come up really nice, isn't it? A couple of small things I would probably make that just a little stronger there. Like that. I'm very pleased with that. I hope that you've enjoyed that. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope that you have a go at it. It is a simplistic background, just those two colours that we use. But I think it's, in fairness, it's as good as we can get. I mean, to make it better, I'd have to a few more pencils, but I didn't want to do that. I think we can make it with these 8 that we've got here, and I think we made a good job of it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.